Councillor Sherman. And who gave the authority to Councillor Sherman to brag? You must be bringing everybody on board.
So it means you will counter.
Obvious. Not really countering, but we want to go further.
Okay.
We appreciate, we acknowledge the information.
Yeah, it also rule out all of those alleged corrupt judges.
It means that you don't want your former chairman to go down the drain alone.
No. He been designated for specific reasons, right?
Yes.
Which is an impairment to the country.
Of course.
Look at Labrador is treated, right? This is the second time that a high-profile government person been designated. The first was the former passport director. Now is a leading member of the Liberian Senate, the chairman on judiciary, being designated in a way and manner. It is a concern to us as Unity Party, to Liberia in general. The government need to take charge of this matter. It's not something petty, right?
Okay.
You gotta be serious about this.
But your former chairman has a history of that. You follow the issue of the Danish journalist as well.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So you need to take charge. When he did it then, he was in private life.
Okay.
Now, he's a senator. The chairman on judiciary. The Liberian Senate now need to come in. The government in totality now need to come in and prevail on the Treasury Department of America. And so we acknowledge, we accept this process. Please go in details and tell us who are those judges and politicians being bribed and who gave him the authority to bribe. So I think the government now need to come in and start the investigation.
Okay. Well,
because it's so great.
Why it is proven the government found out that is actually true.
The government can take decision. It's great.
What about you as a political party?
I said to you, we have communicated with him to get a side of the story.
Where is he currently?
He's in the States. Okay. In the States and the close. So if you get a side of that story, the leadership of the party can make a determination. But making a determination, either expiring him or suspending him, it will not have an impact on the country when the government take decision.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he's a government person, high-profile government person at that level. So for us as Unity Party, yeah, we can expel him, we can suspend him, but it will not transfer to the position the government will take. So I thought by now the government would have come out with a release on this grave issue. It's grave, but we want to go further.
Okay.
We appreciate, we acknowledge the information.
Yeah, it also rule out all of those alleged corrupt judges.
It means that you don't want your former chairman to go down the drain alone.
No. He been designated for specific reasons, right?
Yes.
Which is an impairment to the country.
Of course.
Look at Labrador is treated, right? This is the second time that a high-profile government person been designated. The first was the former passport director. Now is a leading member of the Liberian Senate, the chairman on judiciary, being designated in a way and manner. It is a concern to us as Unity Party, to Liberia in general. The government need to take charge of this matter. It's not something petty, right?
Okay.
You gotta be serious about this.
But your former chairman has a history of that. You follow the issue of the Danish journalist as well.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So you need to take charge. When he did it then, he was in private life.
Okay.
Now, he's a senator. The chairman on judiciary. The Liberian Senate now need to come in. The government in totality now need to come in and prevail on the Treasury Department of America. And so we acknowledge, we accept this process. Please go in details and tell us who are those judges and politicians being bribed and who gave him the authority to bribe. So I think the government now need to come in and start the investigation.
Okay. Well,
because it's so great.
Why it is proven the government found out that is actually true.
The government can take decision. It's great.
What about you as a political party?
I said to you, we have communicated with him to get a side of the story.
Where is he currently?
He's in the States. Okay. He's in the States and the close. So if you get a side of that story, the leadership of the party can make a determination. But making a determination, either expiring him or suspending him, it will not have an impact on the country when the government take decision.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he's a government person, high-profile government person at that level. So for us as Unity Party, yeah, we can expel him, we can suspend him, but it will not transfer to the position the government will take. So I thought by now, government would have come out with a release on this grave issue. It's grave that a senator being designated for bribing judges and politicians It undermines the integrity of our country. It brings the judicial system to public ridicule. That judges of the judiciary branch being bribed by a senator for a removal of one of the associate justices. It's grave allegation that President Weah and his government must take into consideration. Unlike that, the president again exhibiting the usual attributes. Laissez-faire attitude. Don't care. We signed a framework document last year that 4 constituent political parties, right, joined together, wrote the Elections Commission and said we are now called the Collaborating Political Parties, the CPP. How be we still, as individual party.
But I think credit goes to Liberian people, though. They decided to send a message to our government that they're unhappy with the state of affairs of our country. You can thank the Liberian people for coming out to vote. As you mentioned, the CPP won in Montserrado, in Cape Mount, in Grand Bassa, in Lofa, in Bong, and in Rivergy. Overall, happy with decisions of the Liberian people. I want to commend my colleagues, Ambassador Joseph Nima Boykai, Honorable Benana Wilfred Ure, Honorable and Senator-elect Yomle Kanga Lawrence for the collaboration. We work well together. And to all the partisans of the CPP, thank you for this victory. But this is just the beginning. You know, the work just begins. Now we got to consolidate the win. We got to work with these senators so they make a difference. We got to develop our legislative agenda. We can't just be against. We got to some things, and Liberians need to see a difference. If these senators that are being elected just go back to all the bad habits, taking the brown envelopes, all that kind of stuff, shame on us, and Liberian people will punish us. So we got work to do. We'll work with them collaboratively so that they can see a difference by electing these new senators. Look, we're going to reach out to all of them, as I'm sure the CDC is doing, by the way. Let the Liberian people know we're going to reach out to all of the independents that want. Grand Coup, again, is still undetermined between Bawe and Batikwa, apparently, but we're going to reach out to them. We're reaching out to Jiffan. We're reaching out to Botokane and Bapalu.
During the election, my promise to the Liberian people, if Liberian people have to be emancipated from the trap of poverty, from the dreaded trap of poverty that we have experienced, the best thing we can do is to invest into the agricultural industry.
Okay.
And because today, if you ask any Liberian home, do you have piece of diamond? Do you have piece of gold? Do you have iron ore deposit? They do not have any idea of it. What the Liberian people have access to is their various farmlands and what have you.
Okay.
So if we want to make sure that we have a stable government in the country, the first thing we can do is to make sure that the country puts bread on the table for the Liberian people. When you're hungry, you don't make good decisions. So therefore, I'm urging this government and any other government to come. The bedrock for every nation is a healthy nation. The bedrock for every nation is a nation that can feed itself. Until Liberia can be able to feed itself, we are a failure.
Tuesday. Indeed, it is the 7th day of March 2023. What a great and pleasant way to say welcome. Good afternoon. This is the Hard Talk. I'd like to say good afternoon, good morning, good evening, regardless of your location. The Hard Talk comes on Monday through Friday. Today is Tuesday. Theo Williams and Anthony Jiffan are seated this afternoon. I'm going to take you to the evening hours, 6 o'clock. On our plate, this Tuesday presentation, there are numerous things we might be talking about, but let me allow my colleague, Theo Williams, to come in. Theo, good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Anthony. It's a pleasure to be here on the Hard Talk once again. And I'd like to say good afternoon to all of the folks who are glued to the broadcast this afternoon, all of you who are also following us online from whatever location you are following geographically.
Mm-hmm.
And those of you who are also listening to the online radio, we want to say welcome as well to Hard Talk. It's a pleasure to be here once again. Thank you, Anthony.
Well, so today there are a lot of things we have to talk about. On the first segment, we will look at the launch of the Liberia Finance Liberia Investment Finance and Trade Project, launched today by President George Weah. And then we will also look at the most talked about issue. Former Justice Minister been attacked, allegedly been attacked, resulting to the death of one of her daughters. We're going to talk about that too. Apparently, we want to look at that from other side. There have been different thoughts of it. We're going to look at it very critically and analytically on this presentation. At 5 o'clock, we are expected to play host to Councillor Finlay Kanga. Councillor Finlay Kanga is one of Liberia respectable and renowned lawyers. We're going to talk to him. We're looking at the rule of law and the influx of illicit drugs or drugs abuse in our country. And so we're going to be talking to Councillor Kanga very shortly at 5 o'clock on the show. But wherever you are, you're listening to Hard Talk. It's on ABC Radio 105.1. My name is Anthony. Theo Williams and I, we're here. We'll run through to our wise words for today.
Before you go to the wise words, okay, Anthony, quickly, I don't know whether you follow this, but the political leader of the opposition movement for progressive change, I'm talking about Simon Freeman,
right,
vowed 2 lawsuits against the Liberian government. One of those suits is Omadamus compelling the government to appoint the ombudsman, the office of the ombudsman. According to Mr. Freeman, since the Freedom of Information Act was passed, the office has been vacant. And so, according to him, very soon we'll see a lawsuit at the Supreme Court of Liberia. And then he also talked about the cancellation. He called for the cancellation of the census report. According to him, the census should not be taken seriously. Even though we all know that all of our partners internationally express explicit confidence in the just ended census report, but Mr. Freeman of the Movement for Progressive Change has vowed 2 lawsuits against the government of Liberia. So there you have it. Perhaps we'll just talk about that briefly in passing.
Yes.
A couple of other issues on the first segment as we take our guests at 5 today.
And so, Theo, that's very important.
I think you have to take a break, Anthony. We're getting feedback from somewhere.
Yes.
Let's take a quick break.
Take a very
to try to sort it out.
short break to be right back. Indeed, welcome back, and thanks for rejoining us. Well, we sincerely apologize for that break in transmission. And so let's go for our wise voice. Let's go for our wise voice quickly. And when we return, we move on to other issues here. So we are considering this today. It says success is the ability to go from one failure to another without no loss of enthusiasm. I'd like to say that again. It says success is the ability to go from one failure to another with no loss. I said with no loss of enthusiasm. Theo, you want to comment on it?
You have to say that again.
Success is the ability to go from one failure to another with no loss of enthusiasm.
Of course, that is correct. It's often said as well, winners
don't never quit.
Yes.
And quitters
don't win.
Yes.
So obviously that is correct.
Okay. And so you're listening to Hard Talk here on ABC Radio 105.1. So quickly, let's start out with Theo. We're going to talk about this in passing. Today, the Liberian government, through the Ministry of Finance, launched the Liberia Investment Finance and Trade Project. It is for short called LIFT. LIFT was launched by the Liberian government according to the Minister of Commerce and Industry, Minister Dix. She, in her introduction, welcome introductory statement, she said this project is intended to improve the investment climate. That was one thing I tried to capture and analyze. The LIFT project is intended to improve the investment climate. It also intends to create opportunity through business linkages. And how do that happen?
Yes, thank you, Antonin. Like you mentioned, today was the launch, well-attended launch of that project. But I'd just like to read a few lines of the president's speech on today,
okay,
so that the public can have a clear understanding of what we want to talk about in passing. Right. It says, on behalf of the government of Liberia, as well as the people of Liberia, and in my own name, I would like to express profound gratitude to the World Bank Group for the approval of $40 million United States dollars to support and implement the LIFT project. I would also like to thank all those who have worked so hard in getting here. The Minister of Commerce and Industry, the chairperson of the National Project Steering Committee of the LIFT project. It says, thank you, Minister Diggs, and your able team, as well as all those who connected this process for ensuring that the eligibility requirements of the project were met. Today, we once again demonstrate government's commitment to making groundbreaking reforms across all sectors of our economy, as well to continue to receive the necessary support from donors and development partners. I believe that this support continues to be given more frequently and in greater magnitudes because my administration continues to exhibit fiscal discipline and financial prudence in the implementation of these projects. It moves on to say, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Liberia Investment, Finance, and Trade Project is intended to improve the investment climate, like you mentioned, Tony. The Liberia Investment, Finance, and Trade Project is intended to improve the investment climate, expand access to finance, and increase the efficiency of trade in Liberia. However, even more importantly, the project incorporates features that seeks to address gaps that have been identified between men and women with respect to their participation in economic activities in the Liberian economy. I think I have to stop it right there.
Yeah. And so it also intends to create policy for MSME development, which remain an inclusive component under the LIFT project. And so over the time, we Liberians continue to talk about the lack of opportunities. And when the finance minister spoke at that occasion, he talked about how one company coming here, for example, Jiffan would bring, or Theo would bring one construction company. Not everybody in Liberia will
work with that construction
company. Even if they can absorb 10 million person, not everyone in Liberia know about construction. But when we have 1 million different small business group, when the 1 million can employ at least 3 persons, it means you have 3 million persons are already employed. And so with these kind of initiatives, with this kind of projects, you understand that you will open door to more employment. When you saw the touring today, I was like, I walk around. Can you imagine? I saw a natural made alcoholic beverage, Liberian made, and made from mixed coffee, rum, and ginger, and what have you. And so there are numerous of things that we can do. I also listened to the Liba president when he spoke. He said in Liberia, we produce things that we don't consume. And we consume what we don't produce.
Of course.
And so when we turn around to start to produce what we consume and forget about importation, do you imagine leaving from this radio, going to Riverside to go and, on your farm, going to Sino on my farm, ensuring that we produce what we eat, because we produce plantain here. We produce cassava,
yam.
But cassava, yam, plantain, edibles are not our staple. So when you're producing rice, I produce rice. The rest of us start to produce rice. The breeding of rice importation reduce immediately. And so you realize that you're not going to market to be buying rice for $50 for a cup. Start buying rice $10. In fact, $5, because we produce in a year. And so with all of these things, there will be a reduction in the high rate of unemployment.
And thanks to the World Bank Group for approving over 40 million United States dollars towards that project. And like we often say, Jiffan, everybody cannot work in government.
No.
So I think this is a good start on the part of the government to ensure that the private sector is in power. Because once the sector is in power, it's going to help all those who are within that sector to at least get started. And it's going to help boost the economy to some extent. So it's a good one. Bravo to the government. We want to hear the government on that. We hope that it will be well implemented and it's going to impact the economy as well.
But mind you now, somebody will ask that when the government came to power, it promised the Liberian people 1 million jobs annually. Up to this time, somebody will argue that up to 500 persons have not been given job, apart from maybe politically putting somebody somewhere to cut the salary of another person under what is called harmonization process. And so another person will argue, and somebody will ask, why now, after almost 6 years, why now you want to bring about creating opportunity for Liberians? Is it that maybe you want re-election? But that's another argument for another time.
And someone will also argue that at least, yes, indeed, they are trying to do it.
Of course, the politicians will talk about that. When you ask why now, the politicians will have their own way to interpret that. But I think this is good. This is good. President George Weah might not even be elected tomorrow.
You know, I was impressed when I saw locally made things from Liberia.
Yes, I saw cashew. I saw you know, I really admire the air nut. The guy said they want an air nut, man. And I was like,
imagine a young Liberian producing or making his own shoes.
Yes.
Shoes, sandals.
Yes.
What the feedback is still.
Yes, I'm so finding it. I don't know whether the producer can help us, whether the producer can help us from somewhere.
I think we have to identify the feedback.
Do we have to take a break again? Just to, I don't know.
Yeah, we have to do that because it's terrible.
Yes.
It's not good for the audience,
Yes, so,
and even those who are online as well.
Yeah, so we have to take a break, very short break, to be right back. This time around. So welcome back. Thanks for being there. Well, we sincerely apologize for that interruption. In a way, all of those things apart.
Yeah, I think it's much better now.
Yes, it's good.
It's much better.
Good. We're good. So like we said earlier, with all of those interventions, initiatives, projects, there will be a reduction in the high rate of unemployment we have in our country. And so whether or not President George Weah is re-elected, that particular opportunity remains for Liberians.
Of course, it's going to continue.
Yeah. If he's elected, well, yes, Liberians will still enjoy. That's one of the things I love about politicians. Till when they come to you and they create opportunity and say, oh, we'll build a road because we want to be elected. When that person is not elected, the road remains. When the person builds school, that school remains. Sometimes some of them will build community latrine, build hand pumps. When they are not elected, those areas remains. And we can check projects constructed by politicians who did not even taste a bit of the power they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, indeed, Liberians are benefiting. And so I don't know where.
And the program
where is the producer? Can he please help us? I don't know. Go ahead.
The program was well attended, Anthony. You saw
I saw
scores of Liberian women
yes
at the EJS ministerial complex in Congo Town to grace the occasion, and it was just unique.
Very unique.
And one thing I noticed was that the Minister of Commerce was so instrumental in ensuring that, all was well at that occasion. In fact, she's the brain behind this.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
She's been working seriously to ensure that this happened. And thankfully, it has happened. So we are looking to see the full implementation of this project. We want it to be fully implemented so that it can affect every spectrum of our society, so that it will serve as job creation for Liberians, honestly. And like we've mentioned, it's going to help at least ease some of the tension or constraints we are faced with economically in our country. You talked about job creation, all like that. I think it's going to be good for the country. So bravo to the government. And it's good that when these things are happening, we talk about them, Anthony. While it is true, we'll also flag some of the wrongs in government. Let's not also forget about talking about the goods in government as well.
Right.
Once the government
does right,
yes,
we'll talk about
let's
it.
talk about it.
When there are wrongs, we also
this is a huge investment in the private sector. Imagine 40 million United States dollars.
Yes. Our brothers and sisters who are in those various areas that are going to be affected, they are also going to employ. Imagine someone having tailoring shop, and with such investment, maybe that man could benefit something, and he could be more in power and call in. Apparently, he might have 2 person with him. You're going to call another 5 person in. Those people are also helping to put bread on the table of another 5 persons. So the population is getting to benefit by the day.
For me, like I mentioned, Anthony, I'm not concerned about why this thing did not happen since the inception of this government. No, that is not my concern.
No, but that should not be a concern.
For the fact that it's happening now, still under this government, it means, we have to accept it and just ensure all hope and pray that it goes well.
Even on any other government, our concern is Liberians should be able to be alleviated from poverty.
Of course.
That's our concern. And so if you're joining us, you're listening to Hard Talk on ABC Radio 105.1. And some of you wanting to follow us on our online radio, download the Radio King app from Google Play Store or App Store. Search for ABC Radio 105.1 official. And certainly you'll be live. And it is very clear. Trust me, I don't listen to FM radio this time around. I listen to online.
Yeah, digital.
Yeah. So that's it. We thought to highlight this in passing.
Of course.
But mind you, we Liberians have to welcome it. We have to develop our skills. We have to build our capacity so that when opportunities come, we are a part. Hey, we won't be crying one day, say, hey, we don't get our own thing, we're not benefiting. No. But if you are not prepared, opportunities are only for those who prepare themselves. If you are not prepared, hey, you'll be cardboard. And certainly,
President, we are in 2018, say Liberians will not be spectators in their own economy.
Yeah, somebody will stay out to 2018. What happened to the oh my goodness. But
so perhaps this is geared towards, taking Liberians off the bench,
making
them to be useful,
to be a part
of the national cake,
of course,
and just contributing to the economy to some extent,
which is good.
Yes,
which is good.
So, Simon Freeman, wants the census report to be cancelled. According to him, the report did not meet all of the standards.
Okay.
He even talked about not being counted or enumerated during the process. And besides Freeman, there were some Liberians who singled out that they were not counted as far as this whole census thing was concerned. And so I don't know how do you see it, but interestingly, I was at the program where the results were being announced, and interestingly, the partners, the international partners, expressed explicit confidence that yes, indeed, the census was well on course, and in fact, they held all of those who were involved actively to ensure that this census, was conducted.
And that's
I don't know how do we reconcile that.
And sometimes, Theo, critics we take it back on partners' appreciation to some of our initiatives, some of our undertakings in this country. The reason is just simple. Those international partners will not go on the field with our people. They wait and get reports from the people in the field. And so sometimes when those reports are given, and they are given like they are to some extent very factual, they take into consideration that everything is okay. And they give a fair appreciation to those who are undertaking these initiatives. But then Liberians who should be enumerated, who should be counted, are telling you that I was not part of the process. Nobody go to my house, nobody mark my house, nobody count me. And there are many persons who continue to say, but how they say they do census, so what report are they going to give? Many persons continue to talk about it. For me, I can tell you for free, Theo, I was counted. I was counted.
Yeah, I was enumerated as well.
So I can never sit anywhere and tell you that I was not.
No, we can also
mind you now,
the fact that some Liberians were not counted.
No,
Anthony.
No, mind you now, we can because hey, nobody will be counted and tell people say I was not counted. What do you want?
So imagine, according to the guy who visited my home, he said, "My man, where have you been? I've been coming here over 3 days now. I've been here." So I say, I'm a busy person. I don't normally sit home.
I have to go to job.
Yes, so it's good that you met me here, but can we do the census? Can we go through the process? He said, no problem. Okay. So I asked him, how long is it going to take? He said, once you're alone in this apartment, we can just do like 10-15 minutes. I said, well, that's good. Let's go ahead.
Okay.
And there was some questions he asked me, and I answered them, and that was it. That was it.
Yes. For me, they went to my house twice. The first time, there was a guy who went there, asked me how many persons live in the house, how many men, how many women.
Yeah, what all you have in the house.
The next time,
electrical appliances.
Yeah, the next time.
Your place of work.
I was a lady who did that. The next time, I was at home. My family were home. They went there and they asked who are in the house, how many persons, who are those who are what do they do, what you have in the house and stuff like that. But there are other people who are still complaining. And those people, they are also in number. Are we thinking about them? Are we thinking what figure are we going to get today? Because and the last time I listened to somebody say, people talking about election coming, the census report don't have anything to do with election. It has serious,
of course,
serious impact on the election, because it is based on this census report that our districts will be, maybe some of the districts will be divided. It was as a result of the 2008 census that make Liberia to reach up to most of our countries to reach up to 17 districts. That make us to have 73 districts today. And so if we fail to do the right thing, I'm afraid we might have problem. That problem might not be harmful in a way, but it is also harmful developmental wise, economics wise. It is harmful because when do you know that, for instance, you have 20% in this room and you talk about 10%, anyone wanting to donate to this office will donate to 10 persons, and they mean 20 persons. And so you will realize that the other 10 persons will not benefit, or the 20 persons will not have a fair share of what the others out there will be getting. We have to be careful. Mr. Freeman, I don't want to say he's right, but he has a point. The fact that he was not enumerated.
He's a Liberian, though.
He has a point. He has family. And so you didn't go to a house to count here. It means the entire family was left out. How do you populate his area? He's been left out. There were other people who said they were not going to be counted. I know when they read the laws, they were counted. They accepted. But if you don't go to them, and anytime from now, the census report will be out, we are afraid because, mind you.
And we've gone 79% of the report, according to Legis.
Yes.
So we're left with 3 more percent to conclude the entire report.
99?
No,
97.
79. Sorry.
97.
Yeah. 97. 97, sorry. Yeah.
Ah, God. We here. I mean, we here.
97%
We here.
of the report or results
It's out.
Yes. And we left with 3 more percent
We here.
to wrap up the entire census discussion. So yes, Mr. Freeman has vowed to take this matter to the Supreme Court.
And the man saying, I think the 2 lawsuits, one also has to do with the amount appropriated for the 3 heads of the national legislature.
Yeah, you talked about that.
The speaker and the president pro tempore. The man said the men making money, everybody.
Yeah, he outlined the figures in their budget.
Yeah.
And he said that was way too far for an individual to make.
Yeah.
You know, in the midst of the challenges like Liberians are confronted with. According to Freeman, he's not going to rest until he's going to pursue this thing legally at the level of the Supreme Court of Liberia. So let's see how it's going to play out in the final analysis, folks. You were talking about the former Chief Justice saga.
Yes, let you know that, then we can go to the lines. Theo, this is very critical. The issue with the former Chief Justice, the alleged attack that resulted to the death of one of her daughters. This is critical. The security people, the police, and other investigators are doing their job. But again, it behooves some of us who sit on public media to ensure that we highlight some of these things. Because if you have things like burglary, armed robbery, attack on individual lives resulting to death, they have to be talked about. We firstly must call on the security forces and other investigators to ensure that they adequately conduct their investigations to ensure that perpetrators are brought to book. For instance, in my house, when something happens, the police should ensure that the person responsible is brought to justice. Whether I plan it, and it happens, the police should ensure that I who plan it and go ahead to maybe tarnish the reputation of other people, I should be brought to justice. And I should face the full weight of the law. If it is anyone from out, that person should also be tracked. And so there I came from when I said the issue with the former Chief Justice is very critical. Here is it. Initial or preliminary report are saying there was no break-in. There is no mark to say maybe somebody bust the gate there and come in. They bust the wall, they come in.
Or remove the iron bar.
Or they move iron bar
to enter the house.
But somebody enter. The only thing we know, somebody enter. How did the person enter? No trace. The person jump over the fence. It's a very tall fence. Even a short fence. the person enter. The person entered the house because it was at 11 that time. Your door will be closed. How did the person enter into the house? Then break the door.
No, I think it was 9:30 p.m.
Till even 9:30, right?
Yeah, 9:30 p.m.
At that time, people in fence, they are indoor. Even if you are not indoor, nobody see the person. Where the person was hiding. When the person was hiding anywhere, how this person got in, attacked, killed this girl, because maybe somebody said they went for the former Chief Justice. But the former Chief Justice was able to spray the person. And the person left the former Chief Justice that they went for. After spraying them, they said, no, that girl will go kill. I said, you spray us. According to reports, they have security.
Yeah, in the fence.
2 private security, plus I think family friend who is a security person and stuff like that. Where are the 3 security personnel? Where is the family friend? Where are those who in that house? The only person I hear about most often is the other lady who is currently hospitalized. Those security personnel should be answering good questions. We should be hearing about them, even though we might not hear what they say. But we should also know that they are into the investigation. Have you heard that?
Well, I have said repeatedly that this whole thing regarding the former Chief Justice, that entire matter is of serious concern and must be given serious attention. I have been one person who have called for an independent investigation into that matter. Because if you listen, if you follow the entire case from the onset till present, some things you will hear is very difficult
to believe.
Some of the things you will hear, my brother, are things that you found difficult to believe. So for me, I don't want to jump the gun. I don't want to preempt this matter, but rather hold on until the investigation is concluded. When the findings are out, then we can make the case or make the noise.
We are calling on
So
state security
all we
and state
want
actors.
is for all parties involved to fully cooperate with the police and ensure that this thing is investigated to the letter.
Right.
And who, like you mentioned, involved with this killing of that innocent girl be brought to justice or face the full weight of the law. Whether it is external, whether it is internal, wherever that person may be. I'm sure Liberians will be grateful for that person to be brought to book and face the full weight of the law.
You're listening to Hard Talk on ABC Radio 105.1. My name is Anthony. Of course, Theo Williams is also here. We having conversation, national concern conversations that are intended to better Liberia. When what we talk about are perfectly taken care of. Mind you now, when that is investigated properly, when perpetrators are brought to book, many Liberians will say, hey.
Too many accusations.
Yes.
What I'm noticing is that this thing has been politicized to some extent.
Right.
So I don't want to delve into the politics of it.
No.
But rather wait until the investigation is concluded and findings are out.
And I have one person who don't even believe in politicizing human interest matters.
Yeah, we are in a political era. The season is on.
Yeah.
We are a couple of months away from elections and expect that these things will happen. But again, the police will have to do what they can do to ensure that the culprits are brought to justice, to ensure that this matter is laid to rest. Yes.
Okay, so
I think we'll take some calls.
yeah, let
As
go
we
to the
await our
lines.
guests, it's almost 5 o'clock.
Let's go to the lines. We expect to have Councillor Fini Kanga on the show at 5 o'clock. But if you're listening from wherever, call us on 0777, that's 0777 105 100 0777 105 100, better still 0555 105 100 0555 105 100. If you're following us on Facebook or YouTube, the numbers are pinned on the live feed on the screen. You can call us. If you are out and you want to make your input, well, you can still call us on +231 776 384 912. On WhatsApp, +231 776 384 912. And you'll be live here on the program. This is the Hard Talk on ABC Radio. We have highlighted several issues here on the program. We talked about the launch of the LIFT project by the Liberian government through the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, a project which intends to give Liberians opportunities to adapt. We talk about that. We also talk about the two lawsuits by opposition politician Samuel Freeman against the government, the House of Representatives, the Liberian legislature, and of course the executives. And so we also look at we also talk about the issue involving
the census.
Yeah, we talk about the census. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The census, and we
the
also,
MPC political leader is also calling for the cancellation of the census results.
What do you think?
Yeah. Should we cancel the census?
After
we also talked about the issue of Gloria's card as well.
Yes. Former Chief Justice Councillor Gloria Musu Scout alleged attack. 0777 105 100 0777 105 100 0555 105 100 are the numbers. Let's go to the line to talk to our very first caller here. Hello. Hello. Yes. Good afternoon. What's your name? Mm-hmm. Go ahead, David.
Is he on air? Is he on the radio?
Nah, I'm fine. I don't know. Oh, okay.
I would like to speak on the issue which is different. I think politics has been full investigation.
Okay.
So for me, in my mind, I think the Liberian National Church come out on a quick Lastly, on the issue of the census, I think for me, the census was not real. Because the way I name Oka Johnson, which began behind the AMSU, our whole plan for that country that big, but never put it. You can do your investigation on individual and order with a market for the high school. No one was counted there. So I think that was not what we talk about. It was manufactured for somewhere else.
Okay. All right. Thank you, David. I get more coming in. 0777 105 100 0555 105 100. Another person. Hello. Hello. What's your name? Where you joining us from?
Yeah. This is our calling from Ontario.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want you.
Okay.
Why do you think so?
Because matter of fact, the country are already in shock. At the present, the government has not actually been able to come home. Any funding, they started.
I mean, an investigation. Some investigation can even go for a year if you don't know. investigation is a process. It's not an event, my brother. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think the man should also make the evidence he has available
Yeah.
to the government.
Okay, my brother. Let's hope that the investigation will be conducted properly, and the final result will tell who is involved. Let's pray for that. I don't think we should be talking about nothing will come out of it. Because we start talking, nothing will come out of it. When nothing comes out of it, and then what we'll say again.
Yeah. Or something called it. What we say.
They will say, we're surprised. But anyway, that's it. People are entitled to their views anyway. 777-105-100, 777-105-100, 0555-105-100 are the numbers you can call to form part of this conversation here on the Hard Talk on ABC Radio 105.1. Those are you out and wanting to form part of the conversation, call us on +231 776 384912, +231 776 384912, and you will be a part of the conversation here on this presentation. My name is Anthony. Theo Williams is here. We are taking your calls very shortly. We'll go for a break, and following that, we expect to have Councillor Finlay Kanga as our guest on the final segment of the program. And so, Minister Simeon Freeman, the political leader of the opposition Movement for Progressive Change, is calling for the cancellation of the censor for which plenty money, I mean, say in our Liberian way, plenty money was spent. He's asking that the result should be cancelled. We should not consider that. That is, we can look for different money to conduct new censor. What you say? You agree with that one? The man is also telling us that the government of Liberia is under obligation to appoint ombudsman. And so up to this time, they have not done so. And the ombudsman is responsible to tell to enforce the code of conduct. So if they are not there, if it is not there, when you should be coming on, maybe you should be resigning from your position 2 years or whatever time. Who enforces that? So he filed a lawsuit. He also said the speaker, the president pro tempore of the Liberian Senate, and the deputy speaker, they are making too much money. And people who are working in their local offices are not even making, if you put all their money together, it will not reach to them. They have to also cut it down. And one of the things that I admire about Mr. Freeman, he always looking for logic. He always looking for logic. We're looking at the money we spend on the censor. But rationally, the man is a Liberian. He was not counted. So he said, yes, the file was not counted. Imagine me being very prominent that they are not counted. What happens to others who are in their little corners? So just imagine that. So that cancel it. Then you show that we get everybody, so we can get exact number. Yes. 0777 105 100 0777 105 100 0555 105 100 are the numbers you can call to form part of the conversation here on the Hard Talk. Shortly, we'll take a break, and then when we return, we will take our guest. This person is here. Hello.
Yeah, Anthony.
Go ahead.
I was waiting on something quickly. I think not be about the money. It should be about the right to wisdom. I think you guys are into investment right now. I think you guys are actually counting.
No, I was counted, did it?
So, my brother, it's about the right thing to wisdom because if data you say you get out, it is the data the national committee will look at when it comes to the issue of pandemic, any kind of illnesses, or any kind of activity. So it's about the right thing to wisdom. Thanks, my brother.
All right, thank you. Those are you following. Let's see whether we can, before we take our break, let's see whether we can read a few of your comments. But I think another person is here on line 2. Okay, let's read. Okay, let's take this person here on line 2. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello. What's the name? Where you joining us from?
Hello?
Hello, what's the name? From where you call?
I'm not getting you. Hello?
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 Hello? What's the name? Well, that person, we have to go up. I don't know. I'm getting you, but you said you're not getting me. Let's read some of your comments here. This one say, I'm following from Ivory Coast. Our reporter Pius Tway says he's following from Ivory Coast. Apparently from around the Ivory Coast border in the Ivory Coast. Vanny Sherry says I'm following. Emmanuel B. Thomas says I'm following live from St. Paul's Bridge. Let me say congratulations to our president for this noble land. Another person here says Joseph Blackie Jr. I'm following from 34 Camp Johnson Road. Masangi Son says following from Central Town. Bravo. Michael Fast Thinking Paul says good afternoon, Theo and Anthony. I'm following from my resident in Zuma Town community, St. Paul's Bridge. This someone say Lavidino dos Santo Copa Jr. say good afternoon, Theo and Anthony. I'm following from my resident on Emmanuel Dam Avenue, Ashman Street, Dusty Road. Well, Thomas Kaffa Jr. says I'm watching from my realization room on the GSA Road. Again, okay. So let's take a few of your calls. 0777 105 100 0777 105 100. Let's take at least a call, then we take our break here on the program. Sorry, you. Okay, so we have to go for the break. Since indeed we let's go for a break to be right back. This is the Hard Talk. It's on ABC Radio 105.1. So you're listening to the Hard Talk here on ABC Radio. Well, let's take a musical break, folks, to be right back. Of course, when we come back, we expect to have Councillor Fine Kanga, but well, he's not here. And so we're taking a break. Before we go for the break, I don't know, this person want to weigh in the show. Hello? Hello? What's your name? Where you call from? Well, so let go for the musical break to be right back. I don't know. What is that? I don't know what is that. His name is Jonathan Kofa, preferably called Takunji. The song is called The Light. We'll come back. There are issues to talk about. In the absence of guests, we still have lots of issues to talk about. We're going to do a perfect analysis of this song. Let's go for it to be right back.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know y'all sleeping now. Y'all gotta whip us more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people sue us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said, they lie. The people fool us, so the people lie to us. The government betray us. They get lies, they get steal, I said, we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach in the now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow this? We just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They get lies, they get steal, they go knock. No one to trust. My people don't want to hope on nobody. My hope that I have them broken. Telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired. They tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough for time, but they instead they delay. People suffer. No work, or people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, the poor, you got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us so. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can not to corrupt and wrong. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that left us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech, they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to breathe? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie. My people, where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands. Come on. I know you're sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. So no job or we get problem. What's in the screen and they have money behind you and they get what chair, or they take your money, what do you want to do now?
Well, I'm a graduate of the State Road University, and everywhere I've applied, they are asking me for 10 years experience, and that is impossible.
We have them widows, the government commission, our husbands, benefits, and up to now we just see it. No good school. They have sector poor. The wireless sector can check out photos. The politicians stay giving out empty promises. What happened now?
Who to trust? In fact, who rather lay in the complaint to? They will listen to what is in power. After election time, people know how important. After election, we saw they say we are Muslim minority here. They say the evil in men does live after him, but the good is often turn with his good. So let it be with Caesar. And what for people, it for people. And people tired so quick. We need a change. Listen, you're not need to tell me what is happy. And I can see it in your eye, no something happy. I can see you're not talking with your heart talking and telling me you're hungry, you're not getting nothing. You're poor, you're getting full. Some of your life more than deep hole in cup of hole. Some of your lost you the same way. Some of your breadwinners said the woman said no job. You're fed up with the hard living. You have to survive. Some of your inner in the street begging. Because the people who don't help you, who you're putting for, look at how they turn back on you. They're not finished with the poverty reduction strategy. They lie to your division. So at the end of the day, all of your poverty. I wish I was some millionaire. And some day I know everybody, let me make it clear. Instead of Johnny politics, I will kill horses. Get loose to the post so they can pay taxes.
Of course, giving loan to the poor so they can pay taxes. They lie to us, and many times they say things when they want to get to power. As soon as they enter, it's a different ball game. We now start to run behind them. And so that's the reason why the people will always say when they contest in Atando EO,
They come here again.
so 2023 is here, Theo. Too many flyers are all around.
We'll see them a few months from now.
Yes.
We'll see more flyers. We will listen to campaign speeches.
Yeah.
We will attend rallies and all like that. But again, folks want to use this medium to talk about electoral violence as we approach the election this year in October. It is important that we use whatever medium we have to educate and inform you, our many valuable listeners, authors, the world, viewers as well. And so we want to use the remaining minutes to just caution Liberians about violence. We all know the history of this country. We know the history of violence in this country. We all were here during the heydays of this country. And mind you, Anthony, we don't want to revert to those dark days in our country.
I don't think any
Never
Liberian
again
wants to go back there.
must we revert to those dark days in our country, because we all felt the pinch of the war. I mean, you know what it means to be displaced? Were you displaced before? I'm asking you, were you displaced before?
I have been.
Have you been displaced?
Of course. I've experienced.
How was it like for you?
Well, imagine you leaving your comfort, and not just going somewhere that you've been taken care of perfectly, but you go somewhere where sometimes you sleep on, because I experienced the Liberian civil class in two different areas. I experienced it in Sino, and when I came to Monrovia, 2003, I also experienced it. Experienced the 2003 war right here.
Yeah, the war 1, 2, and 3.
So imagine 97, from 93 up to the election of President Taylor, I experienced the heat in Sino. So you come a time that we have to go sleeping in the bushes.
So I asked you that question because I wanted to know whether you were actually displaced before. And Anthony, to be very, very frank with you, and to those who are following us online and via the radio, this is one thing I don't want to ever encounter in my entire life. To be a displaced person. During the war, they used to call people who were displaced IPDs, right?
Right.
Internally displaced people. Meaning you're leaving from your home, your comfort, like you mentioned,
Yes.
going to somewhere else. I mean, I don't want to ever have such experience.
Yeah, I don't think any Liberian want to go that way.
Yes. I mean, I can imagine during the heydays of the civil unrest in this country, imagine Liberians carrying their bundles on their heads from all walks of life. I can imagine what Liberians went through in this country. So if we were to do a survey now, or perhaps just sample the views of Liberians about violence as we approach the election, you will hear Liberians speak to you that they don't want violence, regardless of what. Liberians will tell you they don't want to get involved with violence.
Right.
So we want to use the remaining minutes to caution all Liberians as we approach election in our country. We're just a couple of months away to election. As we approach the general and presidential elections in this country, we want to remind you, or want to caution you, not to get involved with violence. Don't mind politicians. They will come. They will incite you.
Yes, and they are the chief architect of confusion and violence in election.
So once you know what you experienced before, during our heydays, anybody who comes to you and tell you to go and protest, though it is a right to protest, you have the right constitutionally, but they are protesting protest.
No, but do you want to call what sometimes the politicians on the TV want to call that protest? Sometimes they just go to disrupt normal activities.
That could be an argument to say, oh, we have the right to gather constitutionally.
Yeah, but
or to call the government to order. It is our right constitutionally.
you
Somebody
have to,
could argue that.
you have to seek permission.
But it depends who's calling you to protest. That's one thing we should talk about.
Okay.
Or we should caution Liberians about.
Okay.
Violence should not be the hallmark as we approach these elections in our country, Anthony.
And in fact, for instance, when Anthony Jiffan has any problem and he think it needs to be addressed, what do you think? Anthony can go through the legal process.
Of course, there are laws here.
What happens in 2017? Councillor Charles Walker Bronsky, the late, went to court.
He did not go to the butchers.
No. He was awarded.
He did not incite Liberians to take to the streets.
And that's why many Liberians respect him a lot.
Of course.
That's the reason why he is respected internationally. He did not go fighting anywhere. No. In 2011, when President George Weah and his CDC got defeated, they did not go anywhere, even though they were decertified. They felt cheated. Even in 2005, they felt cheated. What did they do? At the end of the day, President Weah announced, for the sake of peace, let it flow. Let Liberians continue to live in peace. And I think when we all develop the minds of peace and love for this country, nobody will jump in the street one day and say, I'll go disrupt. Nobody will one day wake up and say, no, this will not happen.
All of us Liberians, it is upon our shoulders to make sure we protect the peace, jealously guide the peace we all enjoy today.
Right.
Because once you have peace, you can do whatever you want to do. You can go wherever you want to go.
Right.
In the absence of peace, I'm afraid. So peace should be the hallmark as we approach these elections. Never again must we return or revert to our dark days as a country.
Right.
This country has an ugly past, Anthony. You and I know that.
Indeed.
From 1979, the Res Riot coming to April 6 and all like that, the auto pause and what have you, September 18, World War 1, 2, and 3, like you mentioned earlier.
Right.
We know the history. 1980, the coup as well.
On April 12th.
Yes. We know the history. So all of these things happen in our country as a result of violence, political violence. Violence.
People felt decertified.
And they felt the best way to vent out was to engage or get involved with violence.
And you know, one of the things is that every time people will be decertified, when 3, 4, 5, in fact, 2 persons go into a competition, when even if it is done democratically, if you are defeated,
there will be disenchantment.
You will never feel pleased. But if you are not pleased, if you are not satisfied, don't think that the right way to resolve your dissatisfaction is to put slap in your friend's ear. No, never think that is to mobilize the vulnerable or population to say, no, it can't happen to me. I may go, I'll put on something for you. To disrupt normal activities in our country. Doing so will tell us how much you hate this country.
So again, Anthony, we are using this medium to caution all Liberians, especially the young people. The young people constitute a greater portion,
more than 60%
of our population. As a young man or as a young woman growing up, do not allow yourselves to be used by self-seeking politicians. Do not allow that to happen. Because, man, you could be damaging your future. You don't know. I tell you what, Anthony, a few years back, I was in a conversation with an elderly woman who said to me, my son, I think it was the time we covered the June 7 protest.
Okay. Yes.
Organized by the Council of Patriots, right? Headed by Henry Costa and others.
Right.
That lady said to me, my son, I want to advise you. And I said, go ahead, ma'am. She said, never ever you get involved with any protest in this country or anywhere. Then I asked her why. She said to me, my only son died 1979 during the Res Riot. I told him, I warned him over and over not to get involved with the protest at the time.
Okay.
He did not listen. And unfortunately, he got killed during the protest. So when she said that to me, I felt that she was making some sense. As a young man, just walking, going about my repertorial duty, and she called me and said, hey, my son, blah, 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 blah. That meant a lot. That was a very great advice to me.
Right.
And every other person who were around at the time. So we want to put it back to the young people that this country belongs to all of us, regardless. It's often said we young people are used mostly because we are vulnerable.
Certainly.
Politicians will come to you, they will incite you to do things that are not right, things that are not called for.
And the very people who will tell you that
they will not want to use whatever legal means
to
seek redress.
No, they don't.
They want to resort to violence, which is not good for any society.
And you know, Theo,
once you have that hatred of violence, or you continue to get involved with violence as a country, it's towards a lot of things. Development, investors will not come, and the country will continue to retrogress.
The very people who will tell you that young people are used. Young people are used, and they are the tools for violence. They are the very people who want to use the young people, the older folks. They come to you, they use you. At the end of the day, they insult you. So many a times I say to my friends, you have to be careful. The very people who turn the young people to what they are today in 1993, in 1997, in 2003, those very people who are calling young people ruthless, who are calling young people irresponsible, they were the very people who took the young people to the butchers, who gave young people what they had that turned them to where they are today. They are forgetting. Come what may, they're going to come back to you and tell you, say, "Amen, let go. I'll put something for you. Be careful." Tell them that they have no future. They are already into their future, and you have a future, and your unborn generation needs to be prepared. And they can only be prepared by your action. The action you take today will serve you better in your future, will better the lives of your unborn generation.
Of course, talking about future, Anthony, it's often said as well that the young people are the future leaders of this country. So in as much as the young people are the future leaders, do not use the very young people who you claimed to be future leaders to go on a rampage and get involved with violence, or not following the appropriate channel to vent, or maybe whatever grievances you have, but rather resorting to violence. No. If you say the young people are the future leaders of this country, do not encourage them to get involved with violence. No. Once you say they are the future leaders, let them not be encouraged to get involved with violence.
And if you do,
this is something we want to denounce. We want to disabuse the minds of every young people throughout the length and breadth of this country to say no to violence.
No, 100%.
Say no to violence. We are approaching elections, Anthony. Mind you, this place will get politically charged.
This election is very crucial and critical.
This country will get politically charged in the coming months. So as we approach the election, folks, we as an institution, as part of our corporate social responsibility, as an institution, we have a role to play. I'm sure you agree, Anthony.
We have a serious role.
We have a role to play.
Yes.
And this is what we're doing. We are sensitizing you, the audience or the public.
We can't do nothing more than this.
Especially the young people.
Mhm.
Do not get carried away by those politicians who will be seeking state power, who will be seeking elected office or positions. No.
And they will always come.
Takunje made a song, said they will use you and later on abuse you.
Right. But it is happening now.
These are things you have to avoid.
It is happening now. They are now telling some of us, some of the young people, that we are not serious. But we become serious when they want to use us. They tell you you're not serious. Move on, man. You're the unserious young people. And at the end of the day, what are you telling me that I'm not serious? But every time you want to use me. And that's the reason why sometimes when an old man or old woman tell me, say, that the young people cause a problem, they do the thing. I look into their face directly and say, be careful. The very young people you're talking about, you turn into what they are. I'm always angry when somebody say young people are the cause of this problem. You mean young person in 1993, you're telling me that some of those who are 25 years today, were they around?
Anthony, I've never gotten involved with protests in this country since I was born. Even at the time when I was not in mainstream, I was not actively involved with the media, I was never tempted to even get involved with protest. You know why? Because some of the very people who will be telling you to go protest are people who will say the words about you tomorrow.
Yeah, yes.
Are people who have different intentions.
I mean, about
different intent.
They get a small thing, they begin a small thing, man, they will go there.
Yeah.
Oh, my man, they begin about the hungry.
So the bottom line is, let's discourage violence in this country. Whether electoral violence, whatever form of violence, let's discourage violence.
Discourage it totally.
Let's say some of you young people will allow yourself to be used to the extent where you go and start breaking down public facilities.
Mm-hmm. Set ablaze public facilities.
Setting ablaze police station. We've heard that before. We've seen that before in this country.
Yes.
Where people got agitated and they felt the best way was to misbehave, to destroy public facilities.
Burn down police station in red light.
Yeah.
Burn down police station in the house
Government
of the speaker
cars
in Maryland. We've seen motorcyclists setting ablaze trucks around here.
So in as much
vehicles,
Anthony, in as much as we talk about the elections, we get involved with all of those hardcore political discussions.
Right.
Let us not forget to disabuse the minds of Liberians with regards to violence.
And mind you, we will, as we go along, we will name and shame politicians who will encourage violence. No, seriously. This is very serious to you. We are going to name and shame politicians who will encourage violence. You dare do it? We can't sit down here. We tell the people, say, this man is involved. You tell him to stop.
Once you have issues, go to the law.
Go to the law. Use the law.
That's the law. Once you have differences, you have grievances.
This is a country of law.
Use the law. And let's see, there are people who in this country who have tested the law and they've got the results.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
So you can do the same. If John Bryan go to the law and get redress,
almost about you.
You can do the same.
Almost about you.
Instead of inciting ordinary Liberians or young people to get involved with violence. Let us not forget, Liberians, this country has an ugly past. Very ugly past.
That nobody want to see.
To want to revert to the dark days of this country, I'm afraid. So we will do these things often as we approach the elections in our country. We will take up time on this radio to sensitize the people, the young people especially, not to get involved, not to be used by politicians, African politicians. African politicians.
The real African ones.
So again, let us sound this caveat, Anthony, to all parties involved, as far as this election is concerned, or these elections are concerned, right? The government has a greater responsibility to maintain the peace we all enjoy, the opposition, and the Electoral Commission as well. All parties. We have to get involved. We have a role to play. We have our own responsibility.
We have a very key role.
Yes.
So I know before we ask for your participation, you're listening to Hard Talk. It's on ABC Radio 105.1. Today is Tuesday, the 7th day of March, 2023. Theo Williams and Anthony Jiffan, we're here till 6 o'clock this evening. Our guest, expected, could not come. We can't tell reason, but it's a consider they are basic people, something that happened along the way. And so we don't want to hold him responsible for not being here. Another time, maybe he will be with us. But we are fast approaching the voter registration process.
And what we'll be looking out for as we approach these elections, Anthony, we'll be listening to campaign speeches, speeches at various rallies. Whether it's the government, the opposition, we will listen. We want to hear you preach the message of peace.
Yeah, I think, President, we have started a campaign message. You say, don't mind them. Do you listen to him today?
Yeah.
Don't mind them. Say all the things they're talking about, and they say I can do it. Don't mind them. I was like, hey man, you already designed your own message. His slogan for the 2023 campaign. Don't mind. And that was not the first time he said it. You remember he said it in Little Town?
Of course. I said that repeatedly.
So I was like, they may already designing something. But the thing is, as we draw closer to the voter registration, which is expected to start the 20th, right? 20th of this month. We also want to call on our brothers, sisters, and mothers and fathers who will not have any link to a county. And you allow somebody to give you some money.
That's another thing we have to talk about.
Somebody give you some money. They say, for example, you come from. I don't want to go maybe to county and say, oh, the person from the county, so don't go to the place. No, you have your right. For instance, from Lofa, you want to live in Sino, well, you can live there. But you come from Lofa, you in Mosorado County, you can get any connection to Sino. Then one politician come and say, Mami, I'll give you $20, I'll give you 30, I'll give you 40, or any amount. Then you get in one car. You go to Sano County to go and register. Don't do that. The reason is, when you live from here in Mosorado that you live, you go make decision in Sino. Somebody too is behind you making decision. And the decision the person will be making for you here might not be in the interest of the people, but because you're not here.
Favor you.
But because you're not here to oppose it, it will hold.
Yeah.
And
you're
also,
not here to oppose it through your vote as well.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about you.
So it will go against you.
It will go against you.
You might not be happy about that.
And you go on the other side, the people too, you go and you impose somebody on them.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. Young people not allowing themselves to be used, or should not allow themselves to be used. Come to think about this, man. I will be sitting here, somebody can tell me from here and tell me where to go register because you want me to vote for you. Can you imagine that? Do you know what it means to you as a person or as a young person?
I had that experience.
Do you know what it means?
I personally had that experience.
You were chucked before?
I will ask in 2005. Someone walked to me
to leave Monrovia.
I said, "My man, I go Grand Crew. The man gave me a 75.
Can you imagine?
I was like, okay, 75. I have to go Grand Crew. I will go. They'll pour in car the carry the beer bar. But mind you now, I'll have to do other things. Well, I'm in Grand Crew. 75 that I can't even pay a pin of my rent. Even if you can pay my rent, man, I won't vote to where I am. The man said,
"One change in your district."
The man said, "My man, I free money."
Then you allow somebody to take you from Monrovia.
The man said, "I free
or
money."
wherever you are,
you can
to
go
somewhere else.
You can go come and can register again. So I said, "No,
is it a free money?"
Go, yeah, that free money. I can go come and can register.
Imagine some of those things you hear from young people.
Yeah,
Anthony, imagine.
I was like, what is this?
I was sitting somewhere doing an election in District 9, right? Mosorado County, District 9.
Yeah.
The election I brought this guy,
Foco
to power. The election I brought Foco to power.
Yeah.
One of the aspirant at the time in District 9. Group the young people. She had a team.
Okay.
Group the young people. And I was sitting there. There's a restaurant just next to where they were sitting. And I was there just monitoring them and eavesdropping the conversation as well. You wouldn't believe all the young people who were at that place at the time. They took along their voter registration cards. The agreement was you get all your card.
She gave you something.
No, you get all your card with Holy.
Oh, God have mercy.
We Holy, the Oma going campaign. The Oma launching today. We got to parade with her. One good number behind her. So once we are done with the campaign, we come back here, we give you your card and give you $20 US.
Oh, you know what the number?
That's the number.
Okay.
Imagine that. Imagine. Just bring your color Wole.
Yeah.
We're going rally. Or going campaign, we're going around the district. We won't prove that we'll have the number.
Okay.
After the rally or the campaign, we'll come back here, we distribute your cards and give you 20 US bucks each. Can you imagine? There were several young people who agreed to that. So what do I stand to benefit living where I live?
Yes.
To go and register somewhere else?
Because I want $20.
You're not domiciled in a particular area where you've been taken. You don't live there.
And the trucks will soon start moving around. The buses.
But someone will take you from Monrovia or wherever you are and say, hey, let's go this place. For little or nothing. And mind you, they don't think out of the box. Anthony, your life is involved.
No. Yes. But
your life is involved.
But I think
God forbid.
If
you are being trucked and something happened.
There were 2 occasions.
What will you say?
There were 2 occasions, Theo. Not even when something happened. There were 2 occasions when people were going to bombing.
So these are things, Anthony, we have to talk about on the radio each and every time. We have to sensitize the people, the young people.
In 2011,
as we approach these elections.
In 2011, there were people going to bombing, and there was a serious accident.
That means to move from here and go somewhere
and go bombing. And I live in
I live in who are no bombing.
If I say that me supposed to campaign.
And how many people begin to represent in this place?
Yeah, seriously.
Other people just voted for them for no reason.
Serious.
Only because of small money. Today, the very people complaining.
So if because
and referring to the district as a banner district.
If because
the most banner district.
Theo William is from Riverside, and Theo wants to go to his home to go and register. That's different thing.
That's a different issue.
So he takes to himself to go to Riverside because he wants to make decisions in Riverside that will impact his county.
Of course.
That's different thing.
Whatever decisions made there will affect me. Right? Because I'm from there.
Yes. So so if I want to go to Sino, but it should not be, even though I'm from Sino. Yeah, I said that there one politician coming from me say, because you're from Sino, let me get you something that go Sino so you can go register. No. Even though I'm from there, if I want to go there, I can go there to register. But it should not be because you come to me to say you want to give me money. It is an abuse of my right.
You don't know these people intend. You just follow them.
It is an abuse of my right.
Whether they're using cash just to win election,
yes,
you just follow them.
So even if Theo William is living in Central Monrovia, his route is in Nuclear Town, he say, "Oh, I won't go Nuclear Town and go register to vote." It should be at his will. Nobody will come from there and say, "Mama, I can't go. Let me get you something so you can go register." No. No, you want to go there because you feel that maybe you got property there, you want to protect your property, you need that place to be developed.
Of course, as we approach these elections, Anthony, all of us will have to attach some level of importance to ourselves. Serious importance to ourselves.
We have serious responsibility.
Let the politicians respect you this time around. That way bad thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you get kind, you get all sweet talk.
Yeah.
You get money because you get money to spend.
If I've been talking, you get 10,000.
Yeah, you're not going to take loan. And you come.
Then when you win, start paying the loan.
Teaching all money all over.
When you win, start paying the loan.
Let's learn to graduate from those kinds of things, Liberians. As we approach these elections, mind you, it's critical. It's going to be a critical period in our country. Let's learn to get away with all of those things that happened in the past. Let us not repeat those mistakes.
No.
And then start to cry baby at the end. Right? You're not yet calling from district and here. Calling from about Honor
A
district.
band of honor developed, honor represented.
It could be you left your district and went somewhere else to vote.
Yeah, and somebody made a decision
Maybe
for
somebody
you.
made a decision for you, and
Yeah.
now you're not happy with the
And
decision.
why you expect? When you
Yeah.
were taking the $20 to go vote for somebody outside, you didn't think about
And
district.
the person, whatever you benefit, nothing.
Nothing.
All the men know he pay you, so he ain't got time for you
But
again.
yes.
So can you imagine that? These are things we have to talk about, Anthony. Talk about them every time on this radio. Sensitize the people. I think there's a need for those who are heading programs to, sort of craft something that will be exclusively on election. Election matters. Where Liberians will be sensitized through the radio as well about how to vote and things that you're not allowed to do.
So, in a way, but we have to be very careful.
Yeah, man.
Let's see whether we can go to the lines to pick a few calls. Our guest has just informed us that some serious issues.
Let's forget about that.
So
I'm not sure it's important anymore.
We accept his apology anyway.
Maybe we could reschedule the case.
Yes, that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
We'll
But let's take some calls.
0777
on violence. We've been talking about election violence, or violence as a whole.
Yes,
exclusively. We want to hear from you, Liberians. We want you to gravitate from that old style of doing things as we approach these elections. Politicians will come. They will sing all of the good songs in your ears. They will make speeches. They will make promises. But we want you to be steadfast. We want you to make sound decisions.
Right.
Whether you young or you old, the fact of the matter is we are Liberian. So we want you to make sound decisions.
It is upon you to protect,
not to allow yourselves to be used by politicians
to protect the peace we enjoy.
Yes, let's protect the peace. We'll talk about the peace as well. It's important. Once we have peace, trust me. How many people can say, I got nothing, so I'm running away, no going in my ear, I eat my dry I already.
I go to bed, I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, already. No noise. Already. It's better. So let's talk about peace as well. Let's jealously guide the peace.
And imagine
we all enjoy today.
Imagine
all of you politicians
during the 2003 episode of the Liberian Civil War. We have people on the other side, Douala and other places, they have a lot of food.
Yeah.
We on the other side from Gardnersville, we ran away with one red light. We enter one fence. More than 100 person in the 3 apartments. When night comes, we're sleeping over each other. People sleeping on the porches. People sleeping outside.
Imagine.
And so the problem is, cassava, fufu, and other things were there.
Yeah.
Rest was sold for $100.
Yeah, there were 2 sides of the divide, Anthony.
Yes.
Those who were across the bridge, Bourgeois Island, they had lots of food.
They were enjoying food, man.
Yeah, those who were on the other side could not even find food to eat.
When you come on the side, when you come to Douala side, Bourgeois Island side, you get food. But to cross with it, the guys will take it from you.
I remember the day ECOMA decided to open the bridge. It was not something small.
No.
Yes.
And so I think we can start to pick calls now. 0777 105 100 0555 105 100. Hello. What's up? Please walk away from your receiver. Please walk away from your receiver as you call 0777 105 100 0555 105 100 are the numbers you can call. The numbers are also pinned on the live feed on the screen. Those are you following. This person is here. Hello. Good afternoon. What's your name? Where you call from? Betty, go ahead.
And let me say congratulations to you people in video.
Okay.
I usually see faith inspire of those that can use their political rights.
Okay.
How possible that would be? Somebody will tell you, say, I want to listen little of nothing, just for you to go and room around. You're rooming around in case something happens to you. Those people will be able to replace your life, but where there is no replacement for life. For the matter of fact, you should know your political rights. You know the time and the time that you're supposed to run campaign and where you're supposed to run campaign. And then we can't have to be the specific money
Thank you, Betty. Another person here. Hello. Good evening. What's your name? From where you call? Go ahead, Emmanuel. Okay. Okay. All right, my brother. Thank you. Good evening. Hello. What's your name? Calling from where? Bombing. What part of Bombing are you calling us from? Go ahead. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. This person. Hello. Good evening. David, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Thank you, David. Thank you ever so much. Well, let's take a few of your calls. 0777 105 100 0555 105 100 are the numbers you can call to form part of the conversation. Those are you following us on our live Facebook feed or on YouTube. You can call us on, maybe from outside, you can call us on +231 77 6384912 is our WhatsApp number. +231 776 384 and you will also be live here on the program. This is the Hard Talk. It's on ABC Radio 105.1. Theo Williams and Anthony Jiffan. Let pick your calls, and very, very shortly we will call it a day. +231. Yeah. So Carson, our numbers 0777 105 100 0777 105 100, and of course you will be live on the presentation of okay. So we are almost here at a time. We very shortly we will call it a quit on today's edition of the program. And so those are you following us on our live Facebook feed or on YouTube, you outside the country, you want to always follow ABC Radio. Maybe you don't want to follow as usual on Facebook. You can also download the Radio King app from Google Play Store or App Store. Search for ABC Radio 105.1 official, and then you will follow us on our online radio. Get all of the latest. We are always online, and so programs, news, and entertainment, follow us on ABC Radio 105.1. 0777-105-100. Maybe we'll take one more person, then we call it a quit here on this radio. African politicians, they will come when they want power, when they want your vote, they will come to you. And after all, they will dump you along the way. Nothing you're going to get from them. At the end of the day, they call you sometimes, they call you an unserious young man. Sometimes they feel that you mean nothing. You don't deserve anything better. That's how they call us. At the end of the day, they feel that young people are the one that will bring in violence most of the time. And so, well, with that now, we have to go. Theo Williams and Anthony Jiffan production. African politicians are taught to just touch on it a little bit. Then African politicians are taught to touch on it a little bit. Then we call it a quit here on the program. And so if you didn't hear about African politicians yet, please hear, but then we go on. Theo Williams.
Yes, thank you, Anthony. It's been a wonderful presentation on today. Thanks to our many valuable viewers and listeners across Liberia, Monrovia, and its environs as well. And again, as a close-up, let's maintain the peace we all enjoy today. Peace should be the hallmark as we approach these elections in our country. Thank you very much. We'll be again tomorrow, God's willing, with another fascinating presentation.
Let's live together.
And so that's it. This is how we go on today's edition of the program. It has been a wonderful presentation. The T&A collaboration. My name is Anthony Theo Williams, and I have been here on this presentation. Until we talk to you, it is when we are here on another production of the program. Have yourself a pleasant good day from Monrovia. Bye-bye.